Hello lovelies, have you ever put on a wide pair of pants and thought, why does it look so chic on everybody else and not on you? Whether it feels like you're drowning in fabric or you feel frumpy. Today I'm going to cover the exact mistakes that you're making, featuring 7 different outfits where I'm going to show you the transformation after we start tweaking each and every outfit. Wide leg pants, much like barrels, are kind of a silhouette that 4 years ago we looked upon and we thought, this is gonna go away, we'll just hold our breath, it will all be over. And slowly but surely we started to realize that it can actually be very flattering, and instead of it being a passing trend, the wide leg pants are here to stay, including denim. So let's get right to it. Welcome back, and if you're new, I'm Ziba. If you love modern style with timeless taste, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss a video. This is a very hands-on styling video, but I am going to be sharing some really great pieces. So if there's something that you are interested in shopping, then there's 4 ways to shop in the description below where it says click here. You just click right there and all the links are going to appear, as well as sizing. Then that's going to be in a pinned comment, and everything is here on YouTube Shopping. It's like a little bubble that hovers right underneath the screen, and then also a QR code in case you're watching this on your television. For the first outfit, I chose the Quince Bella wide leg jeans in a 30 inseam. I'm 5'4" for reference, and as I mentioned, all of my sizing I will put down below. But this is a very classic pair of wide leg jeans that isn't too dramatic. It's not going to ever feel like it was too trendy, or you're gonna look back and think, wow, like that looks ridiculous. These are very straightforward and beautifully cut. I got them in a dark denim wash that is scheduled to be very trendy for fall 2026 and also looks really elegant. So in these outfits, I want to share how in the kind of the frumpier way, or the way that you might not feel so stylish, sometimes what's happening is that you're cutting your outfit in half. So you don't have the rule of thirds going for you. Instead of cutting your outfit in thirds and making it so that you have proportion, you're literally just cutting it right in the center and kind of doing more of a 50-50 weight. So half of you is the shirt and then the other half is the bottom. And generally speaking, that is not a super flattering way to get dressed. But with wide leg jeans, what that happens is that it's very easy to then make everything feel very wide and shapeless. So how do we solve for that? We could just tuck the shirt, of course. And I just did a video on how to tuck different types of shirts that you want to make sure to check out right after this. But I do want to highlight what happens when you wear a shorter top. And in this example, I'm wearing a Ralph Lauren cardigan that is a little bit shorter. It's not cropped, but it sits right underneath my waistline. So already you see that my legs are elongated and that I am incorporating the rule of thirds. So that means that my first third, meaning from my shoulder to my waist, is a certain proportion. And then from my waist down, the last 2/3, it's the wider proportion. So that is really going to help balance the outfit. The other way that you can achieve this and kind of like double down on the concept is by choosing a jacket that's cropped. This one is by Zazan. It's a suede jacket that is really nice and soft. It happens to be on sale right now in case you're interested. If you wanted to add even more length, you could have added heels, but I wanted to be very fair to the outfit and keep both looks with flats. These are by Soliani. They're my newest ballet flats with a cap toe, super chic, and also very elongating because they kind of like draw out your foot like that with a longer vamp in case you're in the market for ballet flats. The other thing that this outfit highlights is what happens when you're wearing the wrong jacket length. So as I mentioned, that cropped suede jacket really helps keep that elongating silhouette. However, if I was wearing the Ralph Lauren cardigan that's a little bit shorter and incorporating that rule of thirds styling technique, and then I would have gone ahead and chosen a coat or jacket that kind of cuts my line off in the wrong way, then I would kind of have a very similar problem. This is a trench coat poncho by Zazan that I really love. It's very fashion forward. It's not for everybody. It's kind of like little camel riding hood type of vibe. And it's dramatic. The sleeves are a whole thing. It's got a beautiful statement, kind of like necktie and hood. And this will look amazing with heels and a different type of pant. But overall, if I'm wearing flats and then wide legs, I'm just gonna look a little bit more consolidated, shorter, frumpier than if I was wearing this exact jacket with maybe straight leg jeans and some amazing booties like these that I just got from Favorite Daughter that have a really beautiful accent and they're very sleek and and elongating. One more thing about this first outfit is that in one example, I am using the sandwich rule. And what this means is that I have a color on top that matches the bottom, and then that's like the bread. And then the meat of the outfit, which is the denim, is a different color outfit. And so that is literally a visual color sandwich and a very common strategy to use when you want your outfit to feel more cohesive. Now, in the second outfit, it's kind of a trick because there's not really a wrong outfit. It's more of dispelling a myth that you always have to wear a super tight shirt with wide leg pants. And I think that that looks really great because, as we spoke about earlier with the rule of thirds, when you have that snugger top, then it really helps out with a proportion visually where you balance out the outfit in a very natural way. And I love finishing off something like this with a belt. This beautiful statement belt is by Streets Ahead that is like, it's very Western inspired and very much like the entire outfit in a way. But you don't have to do this. Oversized shirts and very big, voluminous tops do have a place with your wide leg pants. And I wanted to show you this with this really pretty top that has a lot, like a bow detail. It's quite voluminous and it can easily drown you out if you don't do anything with it. However, when you do have bigger top, especially with this, it's like this shirt itself isn't so oversized, but makes it a little bit more overwhelming visually is that necktie. And so the best way to balance something like that is to not leave it untucked and to go ahead and bring it in. And really, well, whether or not you belt it is up to you, because the minute that you tuck it in already, it's going to really play into that proportion rule and help you not look big overall and feel like you're drowning in your outfit. A quick note about this really pretty top, it's actually Amazon and I think it's like $20. So just as a heads up, if you want something beautiful for fall, if it's very Ralph Lauren inspired, then I'll link everything here below. And if you do love Ralph Lauren, I have a video on pieces that you need to complete your very timeless Ralph Lauren wardrobe with real Ralph Lauren pieces that are actually, some of them are very affordable. So I don't think there's always a need to like go out and buy like the Ralph Lauren wannabe piece, but in this instance, this is a great top. Outfit number 3 really highlights the importance of styling and wearing the right shoes. So in this first example, I'm wearing the black denim wide leg jeans from outfit 2, which I really love, and a Ralph Lauren denim shirt that is a little bit more oversized. It's not too tailored or form-fitting. Okay, so let's say that you have a bigger top and you don't want to tuck it. You're just like, nope, I'm not gonna do anything with it. I'm gonna leave it untucked. Then this outfit is really gonna help you visually to kind of figure out what to do, because it is really focusing on the styling and it's also highlighting how important it is to wear the right pair of shoes. So I'm wearing the black Quince wide leg Bella jeans here, a Ralph Lauren denim shirt, and in the example that I don't recommend, I'm wearing some really great loafers by Quince as well. They're chunkier and they're fall perfection. They're not fall perfection with this particular pair of wide leg pants. Instead, the low-hanging fruit is to swap out those chunky loafers that compete with the wide leg and instead pick something very sleek, such as that favorite daughter bootie that I showed you before that has the kitten heel, the pointy toe, and just feels a lot sleeker. It fits beautifully underneath that wide leg jean. And okay, again, we're leaving the shirt untucked. We don't want to bother with it. So you're going to do a couple of things. Number one, you're going to roll up the sleeves so that automatically there's a little bit more skin showing. Your wrists are exposed. You're going to unbutton just a couple more buttons so that you're not like all like tight in here, and you're again kind of showing where you are in that outfit versus just like totally being swallowed up by it. And then another point that I highly recommend that you do is that you unbutton a couple of buttons in the bottom right before you start to show some skin, just so that you can see a little hint of belt underneath or just like where your waist is. That's pretty key. But sometimes when you see an outfit on Pinterest or just your favorite social media and you're like, gosh, how is somebody getting away with wearing wide leg jeans and also like a super baggy shirt? And how come it doesn't work on me? If you pay closer attention, then you'll see they're usually using a tool to help bring the outfit together. In this instance, it's a third layer in the form of an unnecessary sweater. Do you remember unnecessary sweaters from earlier this spring, summer? They were a big trend. It was like, you don't really need a sweater anymore, but guess what? You're bringing it along because it's a styling tool. So whether that's draping it over your shoulders just to give your outfit interest, shape, all the things that we talk about as the magic sauce of styling, or this is really key in something like this, you can bring it around your waist just to kind of hammer in a point of like, that's where my waist is. So it's right here, and I'm, cinching a sweater right here so that you can kind of tell where you are in that wider outfit. So these are just some tools that are available to you. If you're like, you know what, I want to wear an unbuttoned, looser shirt, and you can't make me tuck it. This is the outfit for you. In this next look, I'm showing you actual trousers. These are really fashion forward, Ralph Lauren inspired, also pleated pants that have like crazy pleats. I'm usually a very straightforward pleat person. I love pleated pants, but I usually like them to face outward, and I like less drama, such as these, for example. But let's just say we're having a fashion forward moment and we're choosing a pair of wide leg pants like this that have crazier pleats. What I want to bring your attention to with this outfit is the importance of not having too many horizontal lines that are visually cutting the line of your outfit. So for this first outfit that I don't recommend, you have these fun trousers, a nice light feminine soft dressing top that has been so trendy, the soft dressing. Everybody just wants to kind of like feel nice and light and feminine. This is great. And then because we're starting to think about fall layers, we're bringing in that cable knit cardigan from Ralph Lauren. And then we're finishing off the look with the suede crop jacket. This is a great fall outfit and it could work. However, it's really easy to then have a ton of different lines where your eye doesn't know where to go. And it's just, instead of being visually cohesive, you just feel a little bit frumpy. And it's these little details that make a big difference, especially when you are playing with a bigger proportion, such as wide leg pants. And then to add insult to injury, you're wearing chunkier shoes. It's just not gonna work. So instead, you just have to watch the lines. You have to make everything very crisp and clear so that the eye knows where to go. So we're fixing this outfit by using shoes that strategically elongate. So those flats with the cap toe that I showed you, a sleeveless polo jersey. This one's by LilySilk. I love it. It's very versatile, very easy to either just completely leave untucked or kind of like fake tuck underneath and kind of pop it under. Then I have a belt just to have it a little hint of extra accessorizing and kind of signals that you know what you're doing when you have that level of detail. You can go without it, but then if you make a movement or something shows and people see that little belt, then it's like, whoa, look at that styling. It's kind of like when you walk out with a hat and everybody's impressed because you remember your hat. That is a hard level of styling to do because it's very hard to at the last minute like walk out the door and be like, my hat, but it shows people that you've got it together. In any case, with this outfit, there's no competing horizontal lines. You have the very clean cut jersey top, the trousers, the elongating ballet flats, and then that third layer is draping over beautifully so that it doesn't compete. It just adds movement to the outfit. So chef's kiss for this look. This motor jacket I've had maybe for like 3 years and it's still in stock, and I have a discount code for 10% off. So I'll put everything below because this is beautiful. Every time that I wear it, I get so many compliments, and it's kind of a go-to when I want to like add a little touch of coolness to any outfit. This is what I reach for. For this outfit's challenge, I'm sharing what happens when you are using a wide leg pair of jeans, but they're cropped. So what does that mean? That means that automatically you're gonna deal with, are my legs looking shorter? Which nobody wants, but cropped wide leg jeans are not going anywhere. I've seen a lot of editorials like, oh, they're out and I'm not wearing them and I'm gonna skip them. And yet here they are and they're everywhere. And I think that there's a couple of reasons why many of us gravitate towards them. It's a great way, especially if you live somewhere south or in the warmer months, to not feel like so heavy in your denim and also to show off your sandals. And then for me, like even when the winter is here and then I have snow on the ground and then I have my boots, guess what? I don't want these longer hemlines dragging all over the like snow and picking up like salt, and like it's a disaster. So for me, these cropped wide leg jeans do have a place in my wardrobe, and I think that they're very versatile. So can your legs look shorter in them? Absolutely. And this is how, actually. In something like this I'm pairing the front pocket cropped wide leg jeans from Quince with their dolman top. That is one of my favorite tops. It's just easy to wear, forgiving, all the things. Also very affordable. But if you just let it go, then you just have a lot of short lines. Again, and kind of how we had in outfit number 1 is that you're just cutting your body in half. So you're not looking longer at all. And then if you're wearing something like those chunky loafers, then you have no shot at looking long, lean, or even like that stylish. It just looks a little bit like you're not trying that hard. If you want to do instant fixes, swap out those loafers for the ballet flats that are, again, a little bit more elongating, and then do that classic French tuck right in the front. You don't have to run a regression and figure out what to do here. It's very easy. You just tuck it in the front and automatically it elongates your legs. That's it. It's very easy to do, and you've got an easy fix. Now for outfit number 6, I'm again using crop wide leg jeans, but these are by Zazan, they're the crop. And I've said this before, I got the wrong size and I missed the return date, and I've never been able to quite break them in. They're 100% cotton. They're really tight on me and I can barely sit down. I mean, you can tell they're really tight, but I wanted to bring them out because they're such a different pair of cropped wide leg jeans than the Quince ones. First of all, they're a higher rise, so automatically it's more lengthening straight away. The second thing is that they go out, they actually widen out the flare in a different spot. So with the Quince ones, they're kind of relaxed around the thigh and they kind of go in a little bit and then they kind of go back out. With these Zazan ones, they do a very steady slope of constant slope, just easing into the width. And I find that really elongating in the combination with the high-waisted cut. And in an outfit like this with this beautiful top, this one's actually by Sanctuary and it's new and very, very fresh, like a green paisley. I love it. It's really silky and fun to wear with a high collar, which is gonna be newsflash, super trendy for fall 2026. With something like this, I don't even think about belting it. It's kind of overkill. It already looks very elongated and it's kind of such a complete look already that I don't even think about doing that. For this outfit, I don't really have an example of the X, what not to do. It's really more of this is an iteration from outfit 5 of you really can look so long in a pair of wide leg jeans. The cut is everything, as well as what you do with your top. And one more point about outfit 6 is that I'm wearing these horse bit sandals that look very Gucci, and they're by Amazon and they look identical. They're such a great price. And if you want more Amazon designer inspired finds, then make sure to check out this video full of approved finds that I wear all the time myself. This next outfit, I want to share how important it is to make some choices about volume around your waistband when it comes to wide leg pants. So earlier on, I showed you the crazy pleats from that pair of pants that is very fashion forward and does add a little bit more volume right in the tummy area. And that's not for everybody. If you want something that is pleated but not quite to that level, then you can do something like this. These pants are by Reformation and they're very soft and billowy and great for kind of year-round. The material is very breathable, not too heavy, but also a great fall find as well. And the pleats are very soft, they're outward facing, and they just feel really good. Now, on the other hand, if you don't want any type of volume around your waistband or tummy, then I love the Ponte wide leg pants by Spanx that are wide leg. They're a little bit more on the dramatic side than the more subtle wide leg from the Reformation pants, but they have a flat front. They don't have a lot of volume. They're super flattering, extremely comfortable. I think I must have taken 20 flights in these pants. It feels like you're wearing pajamas. They're amazing. They were my go-to travel pants for about 3 years. they're amazing. And they're really easy to style as well, because the only thing that you have to worry about is not doing a super chunky shoe, something sleek that keeps elongating your legs. And then I'm wearing this cashmere silk polo by LilySilk that is amazing. It's also another great like trans-seasonal piece that you'll wear throughout. And it's really, the choice is up to you. Like in the Ponte wide leg pants, you're not going to be able to belt it. So you can do a little fake tuck or not. Again, keep that proportion in mind. You don't want to end up halving your outfit again. But in this other like more subtle pleats, I'm adding a belt and just keeping that styling very easy, because it doesn't have to be hard if you watch for proportion, the right shoes, and then finishing off your looks with their layers that don't create unnecessary horizontal lines. Let me know what has historically given you more problems, the shoes or the top. If it's the top, then I just did a video on how to start tucking your tops to help solve a lot of common problems. I'll see you there. And if you learned something today, make sure to hit the subscribe button.